Hello everyone, I am Dhruvajyoti Biswas from the Indian Institute of Technology Madras, Chennai, and today I will be talking about the effects of noise on aging transitions in networks of World Cup neurons. My collaborators for this piece of work are Samanna Pranesh, who is a fellow graduate student at IIT Madras, and Professor Sayan Gupta from the Department of Applied Mechanics of IIT Madras. First, let's talk about what complex systems are and why they are important. Well, this is a complex systems conference, so I'm sure everyone has a fair idea, but I'll talk about this from the perspective of complex systems, which has some terms of dynamics associated with it. Well, it's pretty obvious that real-life physical systems, and by physical, I mean ranging from biological to complex mechanical engineering systems and everything in between, are pretty high-dimensional. From a swarm of fireflies in a jungle consisting of thousands of fireflies to billions of neurons in a brain, they are everywhere. The traditional method of studying these dynamics have been to approximate and reduce them and to finally arrive at a smallest possible equivalent system. While this method has paid great dividends over the years, these methods fail to capture some of the interesting phenomena which arise due to the explicit complexity of the system. Therefore, for such systems, we need to tackle them in all their gaudy details. While examples of such systems are everywhere, as discussed before, the type of dynamical systems we work with have a very typical form. They can be formulated in terms of some inherent dynamics of an individual unit along with some complex interaction with other similar or even dissimilar systems in its environment, and the structure of these interactions are determined by an underlying graph model. As the title of our talk suggests, we will be dealing with Rylkov neurons. So let's discuss that a bit at first. Originally proposed by Nikolai Rylkov in 2002 in his Physical Review e-paper, this is a two-dimensional, non-smooth, discontinuous, discrete dynamical system which mimics the dynamics of a single neuron. It has two variables, x and y. The time evolution is given by a nonlinear function f, as defined on the slides. The variable x represents the membrane potential of a neuron and y is the recovery variable. This neuron shows two distinct dynamical states. One is the silent death state, the other is a spiking state. The spiking state can also be either a tonal state or a burst of spikes. The burst of spikes also can either be chaotic or non-chaotic, which has been shown in this slide as a plot of the Lyapunov exponent as a function of sigma and alpha. The beta in the formulation can even be used to study the external effects like current injection and provides a pathway for coupling the neuron to other neurons. The takeaway message here is that this model effectively captures all the characteristic dynamics of a real neuron depending upon the chosen parameter values. Now, let's discuss the network structure for our problem. As mentioned before, we will be using the Rylkov map to model the dynamics of a single neuron. Each neuron's inherent dynamics is defined using the corresponding values of alpha and sigma. We introduce the coupling in this model by adding two moterms, beta subscript in and sigma subscript in. These are the mean field coupling terms with a time dependent coupling strength G subscript ijn, where G subscript m is the mean coupling strength, D is the noise strength, and zeta is the Gaussian white noise process, and capital G subscript ij is the adjacency matrix of the underlying graph structure. In our simulations, we have used 2000 neurons and an Erdős-Renai random graph. The raster plot in this slide shows the typical dynamics of the network for a certain time interval. The x-axis denotes the time, while the y-axis denotes the neuron number, and the color map denotes the value of the variable x, which is the main variable in which we are interested in. In this particular case, we observe characteristic synchronized spiking behavior, which is visible from the bright vertical lines interspersed with purple regions. Now, let's talk about what are aging transitions. This is one of the emergent phenomena which is the standard signature of a complex network system. In such systems, it is important to explore the robustness of dynamic activity against physical aging, where the active nodes of the network lose their inherent dynamics to become inactive. Such a protocol was first developed by Daido and Nakanishi for a group of globally coupled Stewart-Landau oscillators. They defined an appropriate order parameter which captured the amplitude of the oscillations and observed its behavior with varying fraction of active nodes. They analytically and numerically showed that there is a critical fraction beyond which the system does not retain any oscillatory behavior. We employ a similar protocol to our system to study the behavior of our network of Rylkov neurons against aging. Now, let's talk about the protocol we employed in our model. We set the value of alpha to be 3 for all neurons, while we set the value of sigma to be -0.6 for the inactive nodes and plus 0.6 for the spiking nodes. We choose the inactive nodes from our group of 2000 neurons randomly with a probability p subscript d. We further defined an order parameter A, which is a normalized measure of the average maximal amplitude of all the neurons. We therefore study the variation of A with respect to p subscript d, which is varied between 0 and 1. We perform this study for different conditions of the three other important parameters of our system, that is G subscript m, the mean coupling strength, P subscript n, and capital D. Here P subscript n is the connection probability of the ER network, and D can be 0 for the noise free cases or non-zero for the stochastic cases. We look at the results for the D equals to 0 case, that is the noise free case. If we look at the two raster plots, we notice there is significantly different behavior. The first one on the top left shows a periodic synchronized spiking behavior, while the top right shows a universal non-oscillatory state. In that case, the values of x are constant with respect to the time, but different for every neuron. These two plots show distinct dynamical states of our system. One is almost global oscillatory, which is synchronized spiking, the other is a global non-oscillatory state. In this study, we look at the transition between these two states. These two states are characterized quantitatively by differences in the corresponding value of A. The synchronized spiking states have values greater than 0.5, almost near to 1, whereas the non-oscillatory state has value near to 0. In the second set of plots, we see two very different mechanisms of transition between the aforementioned states. The left one shows a smooth transition, which is somewhat expected as you smoothly vary the value of P subscript D, whereas the right one shows a sudden transition where the value of A suddenly drops to 0 after a certain point. This is quite unexpected, but nonetheless interesting. In all these plots, the corresponding value of all the parameters are mentioned on the diagram. Now, we look at the effect of varying the other two parameters, that is the mean global coupling constant and the network connection probability. First, in the top left and right diagrams, we see as we vary Gm, we see the coexistence of smooth and sudden transitions in the same parameter range. For Gm less than 0.2, the system always undergoes a smooth transition, whereas for Gm greater than 0.2, the system always undergoes a sudden transition. This is true for random networks of all connectivities, as indicated by the bottom diagram, where we plot the value of the critical transition probability Pc as a function of both Gm and Pn. Now, we look at the results from the stochastic cases. First of all, we look at the plot of the order parameter A as a function of Pd for different noise strengths D. We again see both type of transitions take place, that is smooth and sudden, and the nature of the transitions are considerably different from their noise-free counterparts. In the case of the smooth transition, we see that the smooth linear transition has now changed to a non-linear smooth transition for the stochastic case, with the value of A higher for a higher value of D. In the sudden transition case, we see that the stochasticity has two effects. One, it delays the onset of the sudden transition, and the amount of delay is proportional to the value of D, and two, the post-transition state still retains some oscillatory behavior with A taking some finite value greater than 0. This is demonstrated through the raster plot on the bottom right, where although the values seem almost constant, some oscillatory behavior is still visible. Yet another effect of stochasticity in this case is to break the periodicity of the pre-transition synchronized spiking state. This is demonstrated through another raster plot in the bottom left diagram. We compared the parameter space diagrams for different values of D using diagrams on the top row. We see for small values of D, say around 0.001, we have almost the same parameter space diagram we had for D equals to 0 case. The sudden transition coexists with the smooth transitions beyond Gm greater than 0.2. The interesting thing happens for a larger value of D, say beyond 0.05. Here we see there is a smoothing of the boundary between the non-oscillatory state and the oscillatory state. This indicates that the change in the type of transition we observed in the previous slide holds. Also, we see that depending on the value of D, the minimum value of Gm required for sudden AT to take place also increases. Here, for D equals to 0.07, the value of Gm is now greater than 0.4. That is, it increases the region of the smooth transition. Also, using the diagrams in the bottom row, we confirm that this behavior holds for random networks of all connectivities, where we plot the critical transition probability as a function of Gm and Pn for two different values of D. With this, we come to the end of our results from our system. I thank everyone for taking the time to come and listen to this, and now I will take questions.